Welcome to Dark Archive, where we uncover the darkest moments in human history, the wars, coups, assassinations, and political secrets that shape the world we live in today. In this episode, we explore how a trusted military commander seized power while his president was out of the country, and how that single moment would lead to one of the most brutal regimes in modern African history. This is the story of the rise of Idi Amin. If you enjoy dark stories from history, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next episode. In January 1971, political tensions in Uganda had reached a breaking point, as President Milton Obote struggled to maintain control over a country already divided by power struggles and growing unrest. Over the years, Obote had tightened his grip on power by suspending the constitution and relying heavily on the military, a decision that would ultimately place his fate in the hands of the very institution meant to protect him. At the center of this growing tension stood Idi Amin, a high-ranking army officer who had once been a loyal ally of the president. Amin had risen rapidly through the ranks of the military and commanded significant influence among the troops. But behind the scenes, suspicion was beginning to grow. Obote increasingly feared that Amin's power within the army had become too great, and there were mounting allegations of corruption and secret dealings that threatened to destabilize the government even further. By early 1971, the relationship between the two men had deteriorated beyond repair. Obote began making plans to arrest Amin and remove him from power. But before he could act, an unexpected opportunity emerged. In January, Obote left Uganda to attend an international meeting in Singapore, leaving the country without its leader. With the president out of the country, forces loyal to Idi Amin moved quickly and decisively. In the early hours of the 25th of January, military units seized control of key installations across the capital, including radio stations, military barracks, and the airport. Communication lines were taken over, and before long, an announcement was broadcast across the nation declaring that the government had been overthrown. For many Ugandans, the news came as a shock, but not necessarily a disappointment. Years of political tension and dissatisfaction with Obote's rule had left parts of the population open to change, and in the immediate aftermath of the coup, some even welcomed the arrival of a new leader. But that sense of relief would not last. As Idi Amin consolidated power, the true nature of his rule began to emerge. What started as a swift and almost bloodless coup soon gave way to a regime defined by fear, violence, and repression. Political opponents were hunted down, dissent was silenced, and entire communities became targets of suspicion and persecution. Over the following years, Uganda descended into one of the most brutal periods in its history. Hundreds of thousands of people are believed to have been killed under Amin's rule, as the government relied on intimidation and violence to maintain control. In one of his most infamous decisions, Amin ordered the expulsion of tens of thousands of Asians from Uganda, a move that devastated the country's economy and further deepened the crisis. What had once appeared to some as a moment of change had instead opened the door to a dictatorship. The coup of 1971 did more than remove a president. It reshaped the future of a nation. What began as a calculated seizure of power quickly transformed into a regime that would leave lasting scars on Uganda's history. It serves as a reminder that in moments of political instability, the promise of change can sometimes conceal something far more dangerous. Thank you for watching Dark Archive. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more explorations into the wars, coups, assassinations, and hidden events that shaped our world.